Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I'm Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of A Covenant of Ice by Karin Lowachee. This is a book coming out July 29th, 2025. It's a fantasy novella from Solaris. I received this arc from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review. A fitting end to a great trilogy, A Covenant of Ice wraps up loose ends and still manages to feel fresh and new. There will be no spoilers for the entire series in this review, except I just realized that the, what's this book about? The jacket copy has spoilers for the first two books. So why don't you jump to here if you want to kind of listen to this review without that spoiler. I don't know why you'd be watching this, though, without the other two, but I don't know. I don't know how you live your life, and I don't care. So what is this book about? After years of separation, Harbinger Lily has finally reunited with his lover, Janin. He now hopes to heal from the experience that changed his life forever, being bonded to the soul of a king dragon and to the man Raka who died to save it. But this bond is consuming him, making his thoughts and feelings not his own. Compelled by this to return to the frozen north that was once Raka's home, Lily and his companions Janin and Mika make the arduous journey towards a confrontation with the power-hungry catechins that could result in another devastating war. This is going to be a pretty short review, as it's sometimes hard to review the end of a trilogy, especially a novella. But if you've read the first two of these books, yes, this book completes the set. And while it doesn't feel as new as the others, because the world building is kind of fully set up at this point, it's just as immersive and interesting. The entire series has a very interesting balance between violence and compassion. The characters exist in a world that is openly hostile to them on multiple fronts, but they still manage to project a deep kindness for one another and a devotion to their causes and ideals. In the first two, there is more conflict on that aspect, but in this one, there's no more gray lines. The issue is more on a personal level, a sense of grief and letting go, and kind of like, what is my purpose and what is my point and who am I? One thing this book did differently than the other two was an interesting point of view from a chaotic character that was not confusing, but definitely pushed the boundaries of following the trajectory of their thoughts. This added to the experience of the character, so it worked really well. I thought that was really interesting. It also kind of helped break up Lily's kind of perspective, because can be a bit of a sad sack at times. The tagline refers to the series as one of gunslinging dragon riders. This series is so much deeper and more complex than the comparison it seems to be making to a popular YA series about dragons, as it's a nuanced deep dive into the impacts of colonialism and expansionism, as well as the other themes that I mentioned before. Overall, as I said, this is going to be a really short review because it is a short little novella, and I really enjoyed the series and this book, though I think the first book was my favorite. If you like a fantasy novel that makes you think, that also has a really interesting world building and fun characters, that is, very queer as well, you should totally check this out. The first book is The Mountain Crown. I was going to look back because I have it on my shelf and I'm like, what is it called? The Mountain Crown. So that's the first book in the series. And yeah, you should totally check it out if this sounds interesting at all to you. The writing is lovely. It's just a beautifully written novella series. And I can't recommend it enough. So thank you to NetGalley for the e-arc. I really appreciate it.